Hey there, boys and girls. Welcome to Film After 11. My name's Josh Zyber, and I write a blog called The Video File. I'm here with one of my two sons, but I'm not going to tell you which one because we all just got haircuts, and now the two boys look basically the same as one another, and I'll be damned if I can tell the difference right now. So I'll tell you what, if anyone can figure it out, you make a comment below and you will win my admiration and maybe a like on your post because that's really all I got to give you. Now, son, this week we're still doing our alphabetical marathon, but it's almost over. Unfortunately, that means we're up to the letter U, which was really hard to pick a movie for. And most of the ones I wanted to do, unfortunately, weren't going to work out. I mean, there's like Urban Cowboy, that's not appropriate for you. There, there's Under Siege, really fun movie, really dumb fun movie, rated R, and we said we weren't going to do R-rated movies for this podcast. I would really love to do The Untouchables because that's a great movie and I think you'd like it, and it's not too inappropriate, but it is rated R, unfortunately. So that didn't leave me with a whole lot of options, but I found one. I found a good one, and we are going to watch this week UHF. I assume you know who that guy in the cover is, even without reading what it says his name is.
Okay, let me look.
Wow.
It's hard to see. I can't
Wow.
see. Oh, is it Weird Al?
Yes, that's Weird Al Yankovic.
I can't see through all the confetti
Confetti. Okay.
or whatever is on here.
Okay then. Yes, this is the one and only movie starring vehicle for Weird Al Yankovic, the popular and weird musician who has made cameo appearances in some other movies, but this is the one time he actually was the lead star in a movie. First time and last time, and maybe you'll see why. So let's give this a look. And after we're done, I really think we need to go shopping because I could use a new spatula. This one's not looking so good.
This is it?
Wow, this is even better than I imagined. Come on, let's go check it out.
And we have come back from watching the movie. No, not just the movie. The cinematic experience that was UHF. Weird Al Yankovic's Oscar-winning, that's right, it won not just Best Picture, not just Best Director, not just Best Actor, but every single Oscar that year. A clean sweep. Best special effects, best catering even. It won everything. It was the highest grossing movie of 1989. A year that gave us Batman, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Back to the Future 2, Lethal Weapon 2, and of course Roadhouse. This movie, none of them came close to outgrossing this. When I told you earlier that Weird Al only starred in one movie, that is because he knew when he was done with it that there was nothing left to do. This was not just his masterpiece, it was his magnum opus. Nothing could touch it. There was nowhere to go from this, so he just stopped. Having experienced this movie, do you understand?
I mean, I guess.
You guess. That is, yeah, probably the proper reaction. No, this movie won no awards. It did not make a lot of money at the box office. It was actually a bomb. But nonetheless, it has persevered as a sort of a cult film that people remember fondly. And, it's done pretty well on home video over the years. But yeah, initially, it did not get a great reaction. How did you feel about it? What did you like about this movie?
I liked that. I thought it was pretty funny.
Okay, that's good for a comedy.
Yeah.
Was there, what in particular what jokes did you like?
I liked how the TV shows were all just random things.
Yes.
And people that were not qualified to be on TV. And Spatula City.
Spatula City.
My, where did you get that lovely spatula?
Yes. When before you went into this, did you know what UHF meant?
Um, I knew it was like something with channels.
Okay.
That's kind of about it.
Now that you've watched it, do you know what a UHF means?
Uh, TV channels.
Yes. So back in the day, before there was streaming, before there was internet, before there was a million channels to watch, there were in most towns, in most cities, only three or four major networks. You had your NBC, ABC, CBS, and then along came Fox later. But there were in communities these UHF channels that operated on sort of obscure frequencies at the end of the dial, and they were often local programming and very low budget, sometimes weird stuff that they weren't popular channels. So when Weird Al in this took over a UHF station, it was the sort of thing that basically nobody would watch, right? You got that part at least,
Yeah.
But then in the movie, he turned it around and made it super popular. Okay, with amazing programs like Wheel of Fish and Underwater Bingo for teens, because that's the sort of thing that people wanted to watch. Would you have watched those shows?
Maybe.
Maybe. One thing that is because the movie doesn't have a very logical plot, obviously, and one thing that doesn't make a whole lot of sense is exactly how they turned the fortunes of the station around.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got Stanley Spadowski there, who makes super weird programming that people think is funny. But how would anyone know to watch that in the first place? How would anyone have found that show? When only three people were watching it to start with.
Look, everybody, he's coming back on.
Hey, welcome back to Stanley Spadowski's Clubhouse. Hey, are you kids having a good time?
This movie had a lot of period-specific references in it, things that were topical at the time that it was made, and a lot of those maybe aren't too remembered right now. So like, what jokes did you get and what jokes did you just were confused by?
I felt like it got most of the jokes
Okay.
because most of them were just plain stupid.
Right. I hope at the very least you got the Indiana Jones reference at
Yeah.
the beginning. The Rambo at the end there, yes? You got that? Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that, but probably the main thing that has helped this movie to endure is just the general silliness of it.
Yeah.
That Weird Al's a likable guy. There's some slapstick in it, and he's just goofy, But there's a lot of like very specific references that probably don't make a lot of sense to you.
And you won't want to miss Celebrity Mud Wrestling with this week's special guest, Mikhail Gorbachev.
There's a reference to We Don't Need No Stinking Badgers. There's a reference to the movie Network, which you've obviously never seen. There are references to old TV shows at the beginning. When he took over the station, they were only playing reruns of old shows like Mr. Ed. That was a real show about a talking horse from the 1950s that these UHF stations would rerun very old TV shows because they had nothing current to air. So that was a real kind of dopey TV show from the 1950s, and the Beverly Hillbillies as well was a real show. Now in this movie, really Weird Al only performs one of his popular songs, which was that parody of it's the Beverly Hills theme, but also a music video called Money for Nothing. Had you even heard of that, the Money for Nothing, or seen any clips from that video?
I don't think so.
Yeah. So it was a pretty popular video at the time it was released, with those, extraordinary computer graphics that, look super primitive today, but in the early 1980s were super, advanced. Now by 1989, they were already looking pretty silly, and that's why Weird Al made fun of them. So Spatula City was a good joke. Anything else that you liked?
I thought the TV shows were funny. I already said that. I kind of thought that I thought it was kind of funny that the person, the Channel 8 guy, what was his name? Fletcher?
Yes.
He when George walked in, on while he was trying to deliver the package.
Mm-hmm.
He was like trying to call the cops on him,
Mm-hmm.
and then he went and kidnapped people and threatened to murder them.
I think it's time you boys paid our Mr. Spadowski a little visit.
Right. He was like a gangster, but he
Yeah.
was really just a guy who owned a TV station.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That guy had also been in a movie called Inner Space, which we'll get around to watching at some time. He was the villain in that as well. But yeah, I think he went really over the top in this one,
Yeah.
as did everyone in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from the basic jokes, how did you find the tone of the movie or the pacing of the movie?
I felt like the pacing was pretty good. It felt like a pretty substantial movie.
Okay. Because I think if there was a criticism from my end, it's that a lot of the jokes kind of drag on a little bit longer than they need to. Like even the Indiana Jones thing at the beginning, it just kind of kept going and kept going and kept going when you kind of got the point early on. Because this movie had come out after movies like The Naked Gun, which you've seen, which had a much higher ratio of jokes being shot out there much faster than this. This was kind of slow paced in comparison, but it was still, it's still kind of endured with fans. Where people who did enjoy it would watch it over and over again on video and that sort of thing. So you did enjoy it overall, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything you didn't like about the movie?
I felt like that it was kind of, the plot, it didn't really feel like a substantial plot.
Okay.
And it was kind of goofy, and it didn't really make too much sense.
But did you not like those things?
I thought they were okay.
Mm.
They weren't my favorite.
Okay. So you would have preferred a movie that had a little more meat to the story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's fair enough. Nonetheless, you enjoyed it. So on our rating scale for this podcast over WL, where does this land for you?
W.
Okay, well, that's good. How does it compare for you to like The Naked Gun, which you've seen?
I definitely think The Naked Gun was better.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay, well, that's fair enough. I think The Naked Gun was a little more successful in what it was trying to do than this, which was kind of a knockoff of The Naked Gun in that style of humor.
Yeah.
But it's still pretty funny, I think.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it. I watched it recently, and then I felt like watching it again with you, and it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that being said, you've given it a W. I guess we'll just make this a quick episode of the podcast. So if you enjoyed this content, please like, share, and subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Okay, and until our next episode, remember to grab life by the lips. Is this good for you?
No.
Hi, welcome to Film After 11.
Stop it. Stop it.